Take a comfortable lying position on your back on the mat. You can take a blanket to place underneath your knees, your low back, or your neck, if that's comfortable. Take your arms a little bit away from your body. Separate your legs a little bit. And just take a moment to let your body get heavier into the mat and into the floor. And just start to notice your breath. Relax your eyes and your facial muscles. And then slowly bring your hands to your upper chest. And with very gentle guidance, just take your breath there. So breathing a little bit fuller into your chest. Just allowing the chest to fill up. And slowly bring your hands to your lower ribs. Breathing into your chest. Now take your breath a little bit deeper and into your lower ribs. Into your diaphragm. Let's see if you can let your whole rib cage expand gently on your in-breath. Keeping the face soft, the jaw relaxed. And then slowly bring your hands to your lower belly. Have the heels of your hands on your hip points. Your fingers towards your pubis and your thumbs touching at your navel. And just breathe into the chest, the rib cage, and then your lower belly. Just filling the whole space of the pelvis. And just notice how it feels there. Just notice. Maybe your pelvis feels full. Maybe it feels empty. It may feel light or heavy. Just be open to anything, any sensation that arises. Also, if there's no sensation, that's also fine. And staying with your breath. Allowing the body to get heavier and to release more. And then slowly bring your arms alongside your body with the palms up and just take a few more breaths here. Chest, ribs, and lower belly. And slowly take your knees towards your chest and start to draw circles counterclockwise. And you can hold on to your knees if that feels good. Very slowly massaging the sacrum, the SI joint, and then also go the opposite direction, so clockwise. And then very slowly and gently draw the knees into the chest. And do this a few times. Just feeling how the low back presses into the mat more. And draw a few more circles here. Maybe separating the knees. Come a little bit more into the hip joints. And come into the center. Place the toes on the mat and cross your left ankle over your right knee. Interlace your hands behind your right thigh and spread your toes. Now inhale and lengthen your spine. See if you can lift the low back a little bit away from the mat as you pull the right thigh, the right knee closer to your chest. And just gently press the left knee away from your chest. Just keep the breath full, your face and eyes relaxed. Then slowly release your right foot to the mat and stretch your arms out in line with your shoulders. Roll onto your right hip and place the left foot flat on the floor with the left knee pointing up to the ceiling. Turn your head to the left and either have your eyes open or closed. Just breathe into the stretch and this twist. And take your gaze back up. Inhale and lift the right knee back up to the center and change the crossing of your legs. Interlace your hands behind the left thigh, spread the toes, and draw your left knee into your chest. Press your right knee away from the chest. And then as you're doing this, if you can lengthen your spine on the mat. Soft breath, full breath. And then slowly release, bring the left foot to the mat, stretch out your arms into a T and roll onto the left hip, bringing the right foot flat on the floor, knee up. Gaze over towards your right hand or keep your eyes closed, whatever feels best. And inhale and take your gaze back up, come out of the pose, uncross your legs and take both knees in for a little stretch. Draw them into the chest. Then cross your left knee over your right, separate your shins and your feet and hold on to the opposite shins or ankles. Spread your toes and pull your shins or your ankles towards your shoulders. And see if you can arch your back, arch your spine. Keeping the spine long, the breath full, so chest, ribs, belly. And then slowly release and change the crossing of your legs. Spread your toes and draw your opposite shins or ankles towards your shoulders. Arch your spine just a little bit, creating space for your breath so it can go all the way into your pelvis and your lower belly. The gaze soft, your body nice and heavy. And then slowly release and place your feet on the floor. And then separate your feet so that they're as wide as your mat or maybe even a little bit wider. Stretch your arms in line with your shoulders and bring your right knee to the inner left ankle. Then inhale, slowly come up and change sides. Inhale, come up, and exhale, right knee to inner left ankle. Inhale, come up, left knee to the inner right ankle. And stay here. Now you have the option of staying in the pose or bringing your right ankle on the outer left knee or outer left thigh. And with the weight of your right leg, see if you can gently pull and stretch the left thigh bone. Keep breathing deeply. Ribs, chest, ribs, and lower belly. And then inhale, slowly release. Bring the knees up, change to the opposite side. And either stay there or bring your left ankle, your left foot on the outer right thigh. And use the weight and maybe a little bit of pressure to lengthen the right thigh. And just enjoy this very gentle hip stretch. And inhale, slowly coming out of the pose. Bring your arms alongside your body. And inhale and arch your spine so your low back lifts away from the floor. And exhale, round the spine. So you press the low back into the mat. Inhale, arch your spine, lift it away. Lift the belly, the ribs, the chest. And exhale, pressing the spine into the floor. Inhale, arch. And exhale, now draw your pubis towards your navel as if you're zipping up your lower belly. Inhale, arch. And on the exhale, use your lower abdominals, zipping up. Draw the belly in from the pubis to the navel and slowly roll over the sacrum and lift. Roll your spine away from the mat. And then exhale, rolling the spine back down. From between the shoulder blades all the way down to the tailbone. Inhale and arch your back. And exhale, zip up, roll over the sacrum. Lift the tailbone. And slowly roll the spine away from the mat. And inhale, slowly coming down. So let every vertebrae touch the mat. Inhale, arch. And exhale. Slowly rolling up the spine, like you're peeling away your spine. And then once you're up, stay up and breathe. Chest, ribs, belly. Keep your face soft, your eyes. So maybe lift your chin a little bit away from the chest and see if that does anything to soften. Press the heels into the mat, press the shoulders into the mat. And stretching from your hips all the way to the shoulders. Creating space for your breath. And then inhale, slowly roll the spine back down. Rest for a moment. Soften. Then inhale, arch your spine. And exhale, come to neutral position. And feel. And then slowly bring your knees into your chest and start to roll on your spine until you're in an upright position. And you can do this a couple times to massage your spine. And then slowly come up, press up into a squat. So you're coming into Malasana. So let the heels lift away from the floor. Place your hands on the insides or maybe even a little bit in front on the fingertips, and just slowly start to move the hips from side to side. Kind of see what movement feels good for you. This is a deeper hip stretch. Maybe even move your spine, your shoulders, whatever feels good. Then bring your left forearm across the right shin and twist to the right. Turn your belly, your chest up, and then your gaze, if that feels okay for your neck. Keeping the legs firm. And inhale, switch sides, right arm in front of the shin, and lift the left arm up. Twist from your belly. So zip up a little bit here, creating a nice rotation. Soft eyes, breath. And inhale slowly, coming onto all fours. Spread the fingers, press your hands down evenly, and inhale, arch the spine, and exhale, round the spine. So again, coming into this movement, we're arching and rounding. You can reach the eyes up on the inhalation. Inhale, arch, move the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. And exhale, feel how your shoulder blades are sliding away from the rib cage. And then slowly start to come into different kinds of movement. You can go sideways with the spine. You can move your shoulders a little bit more, your hips or your elbows. Just allow your movement to be fluid, comfortable, and easy. You can draw circles with your spine, circles with your hips, whatever feels good. Keeping the breath moving and soft. Stretching the sides very gently, not holding any position, just keep the fluidity. And then slowly come to child's pose and walk your hands all the way over to the left side. Now with your left hand, hold on to your right wrist and give yourself a little pull there, a little stretch. Creating a stretch all the way from the right wrist to the right hip. Breathing into the side body. And inhale and slowly come up. Walk to the other side. Walking the hands to the right. Then stretch the hips to the heels. And hold onto your left wrist. Creating a deeper stretch on the whole left side of the body. From the wrist all the way to the hip. Let's breathe. Chest, ribs, belly. Soften the face. And inhale, slowly come up and come to an all fours position again. Curl the toes under, spread your fingers. Inhale, arch the spine, lift the tailbone, tip the pelvis forward, and exhale, downward facing dog. Keep your arms strong. Inhale, coming onto the knees, and exhale into child's pose. So separate the knees. Inhale, slowly coming up into all fours. Arch the spine, and exhale, lift up by the sitting bones into downward facing dog. Inhale, all fours, and exhale, child's pose. Breathe. Inhale, all fours, arch the spine, and exhale, keeping the arms, the shoulders strong, lift up into downward facing dog. Inhale onto the knees and exhale into child's pose. Inhale into all fours, curl the toes, arch the spine, downward facing dog. Keeping the arms strong, shoulders lifted. Now slowly start to cycle your heels to the floor, one by one. Stretching the backs of the legs. Just keeping the breath moving in a full and relaxed way. Even though we're creating a little bit more energy with this downward facing dog. And come to the center, bend your knees a little bit and press your sitting bones high up to the sky. So lengthen the whole spine, the side body, and then slowly start to straighten the legs more, firming the leg muscles. Keep your arms strong. Breathe from your nose, chest, ribs, lower belly. And keep the sitting bones lifted. Then inhale, come onto the knees and exhale into child's pose. You can keep your arms stretched forward or you can take your arms back, taking the feet towards, the hands towards the feet. And just stay here and feel the pulsation of energy in your body. Let your forehead relax. Let your hips get heavy. And then inhale, bring your arms forward, press your hands into the mat. Inhale. And slowly slide the hands back, come to sitting on the heels. Place your hands on the tops of your pelvis. And inhale, arch your spine again, lift the chest. Exhale, zip up and round the spine, pelvis tips back. Inhale, arching, draw the shoulders back. And exhale, rounding. So even let the chest cave in a little bit. Inhale, sitting bones back, arch. And then bring your left knee up, come to sitting on your right foot or take a blanket to sit on. And place your left hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine, right arm up. And exhale, take your elbow on the outer left knee. From the belly, start to twist the spine up. And again, see if you can breathe into chest, ribs, belly. It's going to be a little bit tighter here in the ribs and then the lower belly. So just do whatever you can. Inhale, slowly coming back to the center. Change sides. So tuck under the left foot, lift the right knee up. And lengthen the spine. Take your right hand behind you. Inhale the left arm up and twist to the right. So keeping a nice distance between the right hand and the hips so the spine can lengthen. So really feel that you have space to lift the chest. You can take your breath there. Into the ribs and into the lower belly. And inhale, slowly coming back to the center. Place your hands down. Slide your hands forward into all fours, and you can move a little bit from side to side. Just loosening up the spine again. And then inhale the right leg up and place the right knee behind the left. Separate your feet and stretch your hips to the back of the mat. So not so much down, but back. Lengthen the spine and just breathe into the outer hips or wherever you feel this stretch. Keeping the hands firmly pressing down, shoulders lifted, so your breath there's space in your body for your breath. In your chest, ribs, and lower belly. Inhale, come up. Change the crossing of your legs. So taking the left knee behind the right, and exhale, stretch your sitting bones towards the back end of the mat. Tipping the pelvis a little bit forward. And breathe. Soften. Again, let your eyes relax, your face relax. And inhale, slowly coming to all fours, uncross the legs. And exhale into child's pose. So stretching the hips towards the heels now a little bit more. Inhale, slowly come into all fours. Arch the spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale into all fours. Exhale into child's pose. Follow your breath. Inhale, slide the hands towards the hips, behind them on the floor, and inhale, lift the hips and the chest. Exhale, hips down, slide your hands forward, child's pose, and inhale into all fours, arch the spine, exhale, downward facing dog. Keep your hands pressing firmly into the mat, shoulders lifted. Inhale onto all fours, child's pose, exhale. Inhale, slide your hands behind you to the floor. Lift up your hips, draw your shoulders back, and you can take your head back as far as feels comfortable. And exhale, hips down, child's pose. Inhale into all fours, arch your spine, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale onto all fours, exhale, child's pose. Inhale, slide your hands behind your hips, come onto the fingertips, legs firm, lift up your hips, your chest, open the throat. Exhale, hips down, slide forward, child's pose. Inhale, coming to all fours, arch your spine. Exhale into downward facing dog. And bend the knees, lift through the sitting bones. So you really stretch the spine long, stretching the side body, breathing into your chest, ribs, and lower belly. And then slowly reach the heels towards the floor. And step your feet together and bring your right knee forward for pigeon pose. Walk your left foot a little bit further back. See if you can square your hips as best as you can to the front. And come onto the fingertips. Take the top of the left foot down and press it into the mat, especially the little toe sides. And draw the lower belly in, zipping up. Lengthen through the spine and exhale, bend forward. So waving the spine, inhale, slowly coming back up. And exhale, slowly coming down. Follow the breath. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, slowly come down. Keep the hands steady and stable, supporting the other body, upper body. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, slowly come down. Inhale, come up. Hold the pose here, legs firm. And see if you can take your hands next to your hips, maybe even off of the mat. Breathe, zipping up strongly. Breath into the chest, ribs, and lower belly. Keeping the eyes soft. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Curl the back toes under, downward facing dog. And then bring your left knee forward, pigeon pose, second side. Take the top of the right foot down, pressing the whole foot into the mat, zipping up, and exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, slowly coming down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, slowly coming down. So keep the legs firm to support this movement of the breath and the spine. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, rounding up the spine, coming up to sitting. Now stay here, legs firm, scissor your legs so you can maybe even take your hands away from the mat. Lift up through the entire spine. Breathing into the chest, ribs, and the belly. And keeping the belly zipped up. Eyes soft. And slowly bring your hands to the mat again, spread the fingers, curl the toes under, and step to downward facing dog. Inhale onto the knees. And slowly start to move the spine again in a very organic, fluid way. Just allowing the body to find its own movement. Don't think about it too much. And then coming to an all-fours position, arch the lower back and zip up. Inhale the right arm up and exhale, take it underneath the body and cross. Thread the needle. So you can keep your left hand where it is or stretch the left arm overhead, creating a deeper side stretch on the left side. Breathe, keeping the hips steady. And then place your left hand underneath the shoulder. Inhale the right arm up and exhale it down. Second side. Arch the spine. Zip up your lower belly. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, keeping the core strong. Twist to the right. And you can straighten the left arm a little bit more, stretching the whole, that's the right arm, stretching the whole right side of the body. Keeping the lower belly zipped up to support the lumbar spine, support the space in the hip joints. And place your right hand down, inhale, coming out of the pose, and again starting to move the spine again, just a little bit. And take your right knee behind your left, spread the feet, and stretch back the hips towards the mat. You may want to take a blanket, roll your inner thighs down towards the mat, widening the sitting bones, and create the curvature in the lower back. So tip the pelvis forward, and take your left hand behind you. Inhale the right arm up and twist. Again. Lower belly, ribs, chest. And breathe in from the chest to the ribs to the lower belly. And then turn the head, gaze over the left shoulder. But keeping the eyes soft, so don't reach your eyes so far back. Keep them in line with where your nose is. Keep the chest lifted. As inhale, slowly come back to the center. Coming to all fours again and switch sides. Bring the left knee behind the right. Separate your feet. Sit back. Make sure your knees are stacked here and roll your inner thighs more towards the floor. Dip the pelvis forward, arch the low back, and place your right hand behind you. Inhale, left arm up and twist to the right, keeping the lower belly zipped up as you twist from the low back, the low spine, all the way up the spine towards the neck. And let your head be the last thing to come into the pose. Soften your shoulders. Soften the muscles of your face. And take your breath from your chest, ribs, belly. And inhale, slowly come into the center. Place your hands behind you to the mat and stretch out the legs. And we'll do a couple of seated windshield wipers. So taking the feet as wide as your mat and moving a few times from side to side. And then coming to the center, stretch out both legs. And then draw the left knee into the chest and take your knee out to the side. And take it a little bit wider than 90 degrees. Roll your inner thighs down towards the mat, internally rotating the legs. And then root your sitting bones down. Root your tailbone down and place your hands behind your hips to the mat. Inhale and lift the spine, zip up your lower belly. And exhale, keeping the spine long, press the fingertips into the mat and bow forward. If you come forward of your pelvis, then take your hands forward. But otherwise, keep your hands behind your hips. You can see what is a comfortable position for your hands if you'd like to stretch them all the way out. And then keeping the legs firm, the toes spread, sitting bones grounded. Breathe, chest, ribs, belly. Keep the eyes soft. And then inhale, slowly walking the hands back. Stay in this position and place your right hand on the outside of the right leg. Keeping the belly zipped up and twist over your right leg. And now bend forward again. This time over the right leg. Keeping both sides of the waistline long. Space in the upper body for the breath. And draw your shoulders back. Reach with your heart towards your right foot rather than your head to the leg. So keep the head a little bit lifted. Draw the ears in and up towards the ceiling. And draw your chin into your chest just a little bit so the neck stays long. And inhale, slowly come up. And stretch out your left leg. Find balance in your pelvis again. And then bring your right knee up. Take your knee out to the side. And take the knee a little bit, the leg a little bit wider than in a 90-degree angle. Roll the inner thighs down and spread the toes of both feet. Root down your thighs, your sitting bones, your tailbone. Hands behind your hips, and then slowly from the hips bend forward. Now, keep your sitting bones grounded. If your spine comes forward of your pelvis, then you can take your arms forward. But if you're having a hard time bending forward from the hips, then keep your hands behind your hips to the mat. Again, lengthen the spine. So zip up your low belly to create space. Keep the chest lifted and open. And the arms stretched out. Breathe into your chest, your ribs, and your belly. And then inhale, slowly come up. Stay in the position and twist your spine and your chest now over the left leg. Left hand on the outer left thigh. And you can use your right hand to help guide your body a little bit more into the twist and the forward bend. But make sure that you do not force your body. You're not pulling yourself into this position. Keep your belly in. Keep your chest lifted. Keep your ears lifted. So let the heart reach forward. And inhale and slowly come back up to sitting. Come out of the pose, so stretch both legs straight for a moment. And then take your knees up and out for Baddha Konasana, taking the soles of the feet to touch, and roll the inner thighs down to the mat. Hands behind you to the floor, and then inhale, press your feet together and lift your chest. So really pressing the fingertips into the mat too. Breathe into your chest, ribs, and lower belly. See if you can arch your spine. And inhale, slowly come out of the pose. Place your hands close, so lift up your hips, and now slide your hips more forward towards your feet. And then do the same thing again. So inhale, press the feet, the hands, and lift through the chest. See if you can arch your spine and tilt your pelvis forward, creating a deeper stretch so your breath can move more fully. And then from here, keep pressing the fingertips down and bend forward. Maybe you can take your hands forward. Again, lift through the chest, bringing the chest forward, and just letting the head follow. And breathe. the legs firm. Keep your sitting bones as heavy as you can. Rounding the spine. Full breath. And inhale, slowly come up. Take your knees together and stretch out your legs. Slowly roll down the spine so you're on your back. And then gently take your knees into your chest and hold on to each knee and just start to make very gentle cycling moves or circles, whatever feels comfortable and releasing for your hips and your body right now. We draw some circles with the knees together and then bring the toes to the mat, roll onto the left hip. Stretch your arms in line with your shoulders. And just gently squeeze the inner thighs together so the knees stay somewhat together. They don't have to be completely stacked. And inhale, slowly come up and rotate to the right hip. Take the palms to face upwards, opening the chest and the shoulders and the side body. And just breathe. And inhale, slowly bring your knees back up. Slowly stretch out your legs. And then separate your legs a little bit. So there's space. Then placing the hands, the fingertips back on the chest. And just move gently the breath there and your attention there. And place them on your lower ribs. And bring your attention and your breath there. So chest, ribs. And then slowly bringing the hands back down to the lower belly. With the fingers towards the pubis, the heels of the hands on the hip bones, and the thumbs touching at the navel. Just breathe, filling up the pelvis, and just notice how that area feels to you right now after all these hip openers. And just notice. Does it feel full or empty? Heavy or light? Maybe there's a color or an emotion. And maybe you don't notice anything at all, which is also perfectly fine. And bring your arms alongside your body with the palms facing up. And just taking a moment to completely relax. And let go of any attention. Just let the body relax, let your breath relax, and let the mind relax. So whatever happens right now, is totally fine. And then very slowly start to deepen your breath and start to move your fingers, your toes, your hips. Maybe you like to stretch out for a moment or make any other movement. And then draw the knees into the chest, roll onto the right side. And use your hands, so keeping the hips very relaxed. Just press yourself up to a seated position. Take a nice cross-legged position. And place your hands on your thighs. Take a nice breath in and exhale your hands to your heart, just feeling the body, your breath, your state of mind, your state of being. And then just gently bow your head down. Lift it back up. Namaste. And thank you for joining.